there, and welcome back to Sleep. If you're new to my channel, my name is Emily and I had the gastric sleeve bariatric weight loss procedure on January 9th, and I'm just shy of 11 weeks post-op. In today's video, I wanted to take you with me shopping to Costco. Daniel and me went there last night and picked up a bunch of goodies. I am not a very good grocery shopper, which makes me love Costco, buying things in bulk so I don't have to go as often. The only issue that I have with Costco as a person with a weight loss procedure is that you can't really eat that much, and so you kind of have to keep a lot of things in mind when purchasing because you don't want things to spoil. I find that in our household, it's just Daniel and me. Sometimes buying vegetables, things like that just have not been beneficial to us. But we still like to go. Of course, we pick up our garbage bags, our paper towels, our toilet paper, our cleaning supplies, mainly all from Costco. But in terms of food, I really try to focus on food that's going to last a while due to the fact that I'm just not going to be able to eat it. Right now, I am having 5 meals a day. I eat every 3 hours, and my food portions are usually around 4 ounces, depending on what the type of food is. But typically it's 4 ounces. So let's start going through what I purchased at Costco. The first things I wanted to bring up is I got some soy sauce. I know that this is a huge thing of soy sauce. This runs for $6.39. This is relatively cheap compared to the ones that we purchased from the regular grocery store. It does expire in December 30th of 2019, which what I've been noticing is a lot of the recipes that we've been making, since they are so low carb, it's really about the seasoning. And soy sauce gives you that saltiness. We always get the low sodium just because the high sodium makes me so thirsty, which is okay because I should be drinking a lot of water, but I can't drink with my meals. So that means if I were to eat something really salty, I would not be able to replenish myself for 45 to 60 minutes afterwards. So this is great. For 1 tablespoon, there's 1 carb and 1 protein. Again, this is really going to just be used for seasoning foods, making them flavorful, which I find is a huge part still. As a bariatric patient, I've noticed that the few bites I do get to take, I want them to be delicious. I don't want to waste my palate on nasty food that I don't even enjoy. I want it to be the best cooked food and those few bites that I get, but also the highest in protein and the lowest in carb. So I'm getting a little picky. The next thing we got are chicken broths. There are 6 containers in here, and they're 1-quart containers. Again, these are great to have on hand so that you can make sauces with them, and you can pour a little bit of this in the pan for some seasoning. There are 0 carbohydrates in here and 2 grams of protein per 1 cup. So again, both of these are great low carb seasoning just to use with cooking and making it flavorful. The next thing I got is some pork green chili sauce, which if you're not from Colorado, you may not have heard of green chili, but green chili here in Colorado is so important. It was one of my favorite things when I first moved here to order. I ordered everything smothered in green chili, and I was very happy to see that it is relatively low in carbs. So what I typically do with this is in the morning when I'm home, I like to make an egg with some, usually a meat, a little bit of cheese, and sometimes if I have some leftover peppers or onions, I put those in there just to make it a little bit more flavorful. And then I use the green chili. Now, you're only really going to use maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. And the nutrition facts give it in cups because these can also be put into a bowl and ate like chili. But from what I've seen, you can do that, but for the most part, your burritos are smothered in this here. So for 1 cup, it's 130 calories, 6 grams of fat, 13 grams of carbohydrates, and 11 grams of protein. So again, something to just kind of elevate a basic food just to make it taste a little bit better, which I absolutely love. The next thing I think is really great is chicken. We go through a lot of chicken because it's a very lean protein. And it's also very dense. Chicken's probably one of my favorite bariatric foods I've had. I mean, I had it before, but I really appreciate it now because chicken is so dense. It makes my stomach full so quickly, meaning that I eat actually less of this. I probably only eat between 2 to 3 ounces of chicken, where if I were to have a yogurt, I could have 5 to 6. Kind of get the drift. This stays in your stomach. It's full of protein. Obviously, it's a meat, and it makes you full for a long time. I mean, 4 ounces is 24 grams. And I try to, at each of my meals, have 15 grams of protein to help me meet my mark, and that's the minimum I want. I always am looking for something a little bit more, so this is perfect to have. And along with that, I have, and those chicken breasts, I should say, are $19.56 for this whole pack. There's 2 chicken breasts per little container, and there's 6 containers. So you get 12 chicken breasts, and you're only going to eat maybe a fourth of one. So 1 container is really going to last you a long time, and it's just perfect. The next thing I picked up was some honey smoked salmon. I know I talked about this in a previous video, but I love bringing this up again because it is for sure one of my favorite things that I've learned while having this procedure. I paid $11.47 for this entire package, and then in 2 ounces of this, there's 0 carbs, but there's 14 grams of protein. And I love to have this at my 9 o'clock meal because I don't have to have much to get my protein level in. And for some reason, I was a lox and bagel girl before the procedure, and this gives me that satisfaction without the carbohydrates from the bagel. In fact, I don't even miss it. I just love the taste of salmon. I know I may be weird. I know I hear a lot of people complaining about fish, but I love fish. I love salmon. It's my favorite. So this is a great 9 a.m. meal, and it just gives you that protein plus all the good fatty acids in here. I mean, it's just a superfood of amazingness. And then, of course, we couldn't forget meat without some bacon. So the bacon costs $10.99, and there's 2 packets here. And we don't eat bacon that much because it is high in fat, and my dietitian told me that I should have only 2 high-fat meals a day. So with the bacon, it's usually a treat that we maybe have on the weekend, but it is good to have. Again, it's salty. You can add it to a lot of dishes. There's a lot of protein in it. For 1 slice, you get 5 grams, which I'm actually shocked now that I'm reading that because I thought it would be more. But if you add this to like some eggs, it'll equal out to what I want to get in that meal. And then the next products I was really looking for is I have been having an issue. I typically like to have something quick at 6 a.m., my salmon at 9 a.m., my lunch meal at noon, and then at 3, I really like to just have an easy snack. The way the dietitian explained it to me is that I will be having 5 to 6 meals a day, but at 3 p.m., I'm not really, after having lunch, I'm not really craving anything extravagant. I just like something quick, and this is usually the time of the day that we finish seeing patients. I sit at my desk and I'm doing calls to patients, all that stuff right at the end. So I was really looking for at Costco some snacks, and I feel like I really hit the jackpot. The first thing I want to talk about are these bacon cheddar crisps. We have purchased in the past the Parmesan crisps. These are bacon cheddar, and I thought to give it a change. And I have to say that they're pretty good. They're not over the top. I probably prefer the Parmesan crisps over these. But again, just something good. And I love food that is crunchy. I remember one time Daniel and me were out to eat before I had the procedure, and I said crunchy is my favorite food. When I was in the first 6 weeks, when I could not have crunchy, that is the number 1 thing I missed was crunchy. And so this gives me that crunchy, and for 6 pieces, which they're big pieces, I can kind of show you. I mean, if you put that in the palm of your hand, those are 6 big pieces. It's 150 calories, 6 grams of fat, 9 grams of carbohydrates, and 10 grams of protein. So this doesn't quite meet my protein amount, but again, you could put like a little bit of guacamole on this, or you could put like a little more bacon on it, or maybe a hard-boiled egg that you have sliced up would all taste excellent on this so that you get that protein in. And then the next things I really enjoy, and I'm not sure that they're gonna have this at all Costco's because it looks like it's made in Boulder, Colorado, which could just be, well, it's actually made in Lafayette, Colorado. But it may not be at all Costco's, but this is what I've been really enjoying for my afternoon meal slash snack, or whatever you want to call it. These are just cheese spreads, and I typically cut up a cucumber and I dip my cucumbers in these. The first one I have is the Hatch green chili. Again, green chili here, big deal. If you ever come to Colorado, you must eat the green chili. It's probably like going to, you know, New Orleans and having beignets. So for 2 tablespoons, which is usually what I get, is 90 calories, 1 gram of carbs, and 2 grams of protein. So this is low in the protein, but I add that GenPro to it, and for 1 tablespoon of GenPro, it mixes them real good with these. I can get 30 grams of protein. So sometimes I just mix in a half a tablespoon, so I get 15. Sometimes I do the full, depending on how my other meals went. This is a good way to get caught up on that protein intake, and I absolutely love it. Now, the Texas Mex Smoked Gouda spread is the one I purchased last night. So this cost $7.99, and it was very similar in price to this. I think they were both $7.99. And the Tex-Mex, this one has a real good like cheddary flavor. This one has 100 calories, 10 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 3 protein. So I haven't tried mixing the GenPro in with this since I just bought it last night. But I would assume, because they had it, like the taste tester there, I would assume this would be okay and it would probably mix in just perfectly. So I'll give that a try, and if you have questions in regards to that, comment down below. So in regards to these spreads, one thing I mentioned that is I like to put them on cucumbers, but when I was at Costco, I found these organic protein crackers, which I thought were excellent. They cost $9.49 for this entire box. There are 19 servings in here, and each serving size is 21 crackers, which in all honesty, for 2 tablespoons of those spreads, I only cut up 6 little slices of cucumbers, so I don't even think I would eat 21 of these in one sitting, but again, it gives you that crunch that I've been craving. For 21 crackers, it is 130 calories, 3.5 grams of fat. The total carbohydrates are 20, but again, I said I'm probably gonna reduce the amount I eat, and then 5 grams of protein. So having this and these would be an excellent snack to get to that goal of the 15 grams for your meal slash snack. The next thing that I found is I am always down for a good protein bar. And protein bars are kind of a double-edged sword. Some protein bars have a lot of the sugar alcohol, which kind of upsets my stomach. I tolerate it, but I can feel it. And then a lot of other ones have a high amount of carbs, which then you kind of have to work with your meal all day to fix it. These ones actually taste absolutely delicious. I love peanut butter and dark chocolate. They are some of my favorite foods. And these are 190 calories, 12 grams of fat, 14 carbs, and 10 protein. So 10 protein is shy of the 15 I aim for, but that's not that bad. And like I said, there are so many other areas of your meals where you can add extra protein to get this. So if I'm in a rush, or if I like to keep one of these in my purse so that if I'm out in public and don't have a chance to stop and come home and eat, these are a great little pick-me-up. Just eat that, you get your snack or meal in. And so these are priced at $13.69. The next thing I purchased is these coconut clusters. I would say when I look at food, I am definitely more of a savory person rather than a sweet. But now that I've had the procedure, sometimes I do crave sweet. I would say it's more than I've ever craved in my life. But I have heard of people that go on the ketogenic diet. They typically kind of dream about sugar at first. I've been watching videos on them because the diet is so similar. My nutritionist doesn't want me having as much fat as they have, but the diet is, you know, high protein, low carbs, where theirs is high fat, protein, carbs. So it kind of goes along together, and I find a lot of their meals fit with our meals. So I have been having a touch of a sweet tooth, and I thought this was absolutely great. I tried this at the store and was just blown away by how something that's just organic, non-GMO, it tastes really natural, can be so sweet and just kind of fit that craving. So for half a cup of these, the total carbs are 11, 3 grams of protein, and the calories are 160. And this costs $7.99. So I feel like this is a pretty good deal. The thing about this is that you're not going to get your protein in here, and like I said, you can always add protein into other places, but when you're having that craving and you want something sweet, this is much better to go to than going for a cookie or ice cream or any of those things. So I love this. So the last thing I purchased are these little packs. There are 6 of them, and it's just salami and some provolone cheese. I thought this would be great as well to pack in my lunch. This would be a great 3 p.m. snack. And they are, for this whole package, it is $10.89, which is a little bit more expensive, but I still feel like these would be so easy, because when you are grabbing things and trying to plan things out, I honestly feel that it's best to portion everything out right after you cook it, because you want to be able just to grab something quick and not have to not think about having something that is not within the realm of what we're supposed to be doing, the rules of the bariatric surgery. So for this, they separated. So the salami is 110 calories, the provolone's 100. The total fat is 9 grams in the salami, 8 in the provolone. Carbs are 0 for both, and then 7 grams of protein for both. So 14 grams per one of these packets. This will definitely fill you up. It is the perfect size for my stomach, and I just think it'll be great. So I have to say, I had a lot of fun at Costco. Looking around, it's been really becoming a lot better in terms of my diet, because I feel like I've become a lot more creative with what I put in my mouth. I'm open to a lot of things. I'll try anything once, and I just want to continue working on it and just changing my diet for the rest of my life. I went and saw my nutritionist, and she told me that we don't measure success in bariatric weight loss surgery until you're 5 years out. So I have a long ways to go, but learning these tips, figuring these things out have just been a blessing, and I just excited to continue this journey with you. So if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week with another video.